Hello, hello, hello. It's Wednesday, so it must be time for Brunch with Diva. Hello, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, So Threads, thanks for joining. Hey, Glamour underscore Beth, thanks for joining. Oh, hey, girl, hey. Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hello, 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 Diana. Hello, Christy. Thanks for joining. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes. Come on in. Hey, sir, what's up? Me and you next week. Me and you. I'm so excited to be here. Well, I don't know if I'm excited or not. I don't know if y'all know. But Brunch with Diva is twisting things up today. Hello. Oh, thank you so much. The Sunflowers Closet 3. My morning has been blessed. I hope that you've had a blessed day so far as well. Hey, Trish. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, I'm glad. I'm looking forward to it too. Real name or no? We'll talk about it later. Hello, my daughter, Miss Elizabeth 01 joined. Thank you so much for joining, dear. I know, Trish. I love it. Hi, hi, hi. I know, I do. I love it. I thought I'd just go ahead and sport it today. Thank you so much. Hey, oh my goodness. Hello, Jennifer. Thanks for joining. Well, today, right here on Brunch with Diva, I'm in the hot seat. Oh my God. So if you guys have any questions, use the question mark, pop them in there. Hello, Leanne. Thanks for joining. Sweet Leanne can. Yes, she can. Did you say you're welcome, dear, to my daughter? Oh, yeah, we'll talk later. Hey, Roxanne. Hey, thanks for joining. So, the tables are turned today, and I'm in the hot seat. I'll be answering questions, your questions, or whatever my guest comes up with. I'll be sharing, and maybe you guys might find out something I hadn't talked about before. Hopefully so. Hopefully it'll be fun. We don't want it to be too heavy, but it'll be fun. I don't know what the topics are, what the questions are, but if you guys have any, I'm here to answer. You know, don't be trying to trick me up now. So don't be doing that, dear. That goes for you, Elizabeth, dear. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my guest on. She's already in here, and as always, she is awesome sauce. I love talking to her. She just helps me brainstorm things. I love it. I love it. I love it. So thanks for joining CARA, which Cara, New York joined. Did I say it right? Is it Cara? I think so. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get her on here. Oh my God, y'all. Pink table. Oh, that's cute. I mean, I really actually like that. The pink table.
Hello.
It's where we're going to be. We don't know what's going to be said, Jennifer. So you're right. This segment is the pink table.
There you go. I like it.
Hey, Terry,
And
long
guess
time
what? I
no
get
see.
eggnog and left it downstairs. So special.
Oh
But
my
I did have
goodness.
it.
I was like, let me turn my volume up. It seemed like
Okay.
it's kind of low.
Do you have your eggnog? Because she's the diva. So, guys, I bought eggnog this morning and then forgot to bring it up here with me. So sad. But
Oh
but
my
it's
God. And I
better
just,
that you have yours anyway, because I'm gonna be asking you questions.
oh yeah. Let me just take a sip now. Eggnog, y'all.
Good
Oh,
stuff.
that's
Good stuff.
tasty.
Well, first of all, I love Rhonda. What can I say? So I'm just glad to be asking some questions that hopefully we don't know the answers to yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin.
I'm like,
I know, right? Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and get it started.
let's get this party started at the
That's
pink
right.
table.
What my questions? Yeah, okay.
Oh my God. She got a spreadsheet, y'all.
We're probably getting to two of them. No, I'm just joking. All right. So, what is your earliest childhood memory, and what really stood out for you, and why you remember it?
I mean, I have tons, but I'm going to share this particular one because we're in the holiday season.
Okay.
Um, my mom and dad were, of course, they um they had this group, or I guess that's what you call it, um, called, I can't even, the Willing Workers. That's what it was called, the
Oh,
Willing Workers.
all
And
right.
they were, it was church, that was their group. They fed the homeless all the time. They, if there was a funeral, they prepared food and took, all these different things, anything community based, that's what they, did. So my I would say I grew up middle class or whatever, and one year they took me with them to go deliver some boxes
Mm-hmm.
to um, some families. And
Mm-hmm.
I will never forget walking into this house, and there was this little boy sitting there. And his mom was just overwhelmed by all the boxes and things that, my dad was bringing in, boxes and, fruit
Mm-hmm.
baskets and all this thing. And this little boy's eyes, he saw a presence and his face just lit up.
Mm-hmm.
But at the minute that they put those groceries down, he spotted a bottle of syrup.
Aw.
He grabbed that syrup, grabbed the bread, sat down and made him a syrup sandwich.
Aw.
And I would,
I
I
know.
would,
I'm about to do that right now. Let me go ahead and
I
do
would,
this.
I know, I
Okay.
know. I would just never forget that because once we
Mm-hmm.
got I mean, he was just so happy with just that syrup sandwich. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, those presents were sitting there, but he didn't bother with those presents. He got exactly what he wanted. And the minute we got in the car and things, my dad said, I want you to, remember that because there are people out here who are not as fortunate as you are. And he said, don't ever think that you're more than you are. Always remember that there's someone who's not as fortunate and doesn't have what you have. So
Oh
I
my
have
goodness.
always taken that. I have always remembered that. I mean, the image is like embedded in my head. So I just thought it
Yeah.
was a good. I just thought it was a good thing to say during the holiday season because sometimes we kind of get wrapped up in all the hoo hoo and ha ha, and we tend to forget that there are people out there, especially now, going through
Mhm.
some tough times.
Yeah, and that's definitely one. I mean, I can see why you remember that. So that's actually a really good memory to have, and definitely a good one to point out during this holiday. So I'm gonna be switching back and forth, my little list here. So now I'm gonna put a little something else out here. First of all, I just want to say
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you so much.
you are looking gorgeous,
Oh, thank
but you
you,
always
Terry.
do.
As do you, ma'am.
No, but you really do. So the thing that I'm asking now is you must share the dibs on your beautiful skincare because you got beautiful skin.
Oh my God,
Can,
there
can you
is.
share? Can you help a sister out?
Well, let me just be 100 with that. Is that I'm thankful and I'm just blessed because I mean I do consume a lot of water, but I'm blessed. I I'm adopted. If most people don't know that, I am adopted. So I have to give that to whomever my adoptive parents were for those good genes. Because I do wash my face every morning. Of course, I don't sleep in my makeup.
Right.
Not that I haven't a time or two, because back in the day. Well,
Mm-hmm.
anyways,
Mm-hmm.
but a time or two I have, of course. But normally, once I'm done with this makeup, I strip it, and that is it. Clean my face really well, and I sleep on satin pillowcases.
That's right. That's right. Well, I know that thing about the makeup is definitely a true statement because I had read up on Mary Kay, and that's one of the things that she talked about that you must clean that skin before going to bed at night. You must get that
Yes,
makeup off. If you're a
you have
makeup
to get
wearer, it must come off.
you have to get that makeup off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, now there's times, a couple of times, a few times that I have actually just fallen asleep with it on. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, once I feel myself just getting drowsy, whoosh,
There you go.
yeah.
There
Because
you go.
sometimes after brunch with Diva, I tend to try to take some pictures or do a video or something. So, I make it work
Right.
for me while I have it on. Because daily, this ain't it.
Yeah, I just slap some lipstick on and go. That's been my COVID to go right there. Some lipstick and go. I used to not even wear lipstick. It's a funny thing about it. Before COVID, I would wear just like a tint that you
Uh-huh.
really couldn't even tell anything, and I might wear some mascara. That was actually before Now I go, I don't bother with that. Lipstick and go. That's
I just
pitiful.
think that well, you know what? Mine comes from working in the cosmetology field for so long because I was
Oh
a
yeah,
nail tech for like 20,
that's right.
over 25 plus years.
Right.
So I always had to, look the part. So then it just got stuck. Leslie said my go-to is Vaseline.
And
Well, let
that
me tell you,
stuff works because I'm gonna tell you right now,
Vaseline
for
is good.
years, oh my goodness, that would be all I use is Vaseline.
Right.
I use Vaseline for a lot of things. I won't go there, but Vaseline is excellent. I have to
Oh my
agree.
God, yes. Well,
Yeah.
my daughter just reminded me that I hadn't even bought Vaseline in a long time. Girl, I used to have Vaseline slathered from head to toe. It's
Yes.
very good to once you get a pedicure. Oh my
Hmm.
God, put that Vaseline on, put some socks on that same night. You'll thank me in the morning.
That is a very a tool everybody should have in their cabinet. I'm not joking about that. Some Vaseline, and also you mentioned drinking lots of water, and that is true. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
Leslie. Vaseline
yeah,
for lips,
definitely.
definitely. And they even have some cool ones now, like
Well,
rose. I think they have
they
like a
have like,
rose one. Yeah, something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. And I used to use that to sleep in.
Hmm. Exactly. Well, yeah, actually, that's smart because then that'll get all the dead skin that lips get.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we just had to know because you're so beautiful. We like we need some help in that area.
Oh,
Thanks
child,
for your
no.
tips there.
Y'all are beautiful. Y'all are beautiful people.
All right. So, how long have you been dyeing your hair pink?
Well, this is new.
Okay.
I just actually started this, a month or so ago
Mm-hmm.
to take it, well, probably around October, I think it was when I decided to do pink.
Mm-hmm.
So for the longest time, I was a redhead.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Yeah, for the longest time. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have, yeah, y'all haven't seen me be a redhead. For years, I was a redhead. And then I
Mhm.
switched it up and I've done purple, I've done lilac, and then the last one before this was blue, which I think you guys got a chance to see.
Mhm.
But yeah, I decided, why not go pink? Pink Diva.
But it
Ta-da!
really fits you. That's why I was like asking because I was like, I feel like you were born that way, but I know
Well,
that's obviously we know that's impossible, but still.
yeah, maybe. But
Maybe.
I think that one of the things that I got from someone a long time ago is something I kind of remember. Is she always would say, of course, that you are your brand and that you should display that in some form. Now, as
Yes.
you know, I don't wear a lot of pink. I don't even
Mhm.
own a lot of pink. And I
Right.
love
Right.
pink. But I gave all my pink clothes away because all my pink stuff was bigger clothes.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So since the COVID, I have not invested in myself with clothes. So I don't have any pink, but I thought, you know what? I'll just do it all up top.
And I just want to mention, guys, if y'all get a chance, go to her Poshmark boutique, the Pink Diva Studio, because she has a beautiful. Do you still have that pink? It's like a sweater dress.
I do still have
From
that.
it just for some reason that came to mind as we were talking about pink, so I thought I'd throw that out there. But it's beautiful. So I mean, you can't go wrong with it because you can wear it at
It
home.
was
It's great for
actually
like
my
calls and
size.
stuff.
Well, let me just say, it is my size, but with the FUPA business I got going on, it just wouldn't be attractive. So I'm just like, I'm gonna have to put that up for sale because I would have kept
It's
that.
beautiful. It really is. And somebody really should snag it. I just thought I'd mention that to y'all guys. It's very beautiful and definitely perfect for this time of
Yeah,
year.
and I'm having a sale over there at Pink Diva Studio on Poshmark as well. So
That's
I'm
right.
actually trying to clear out my closet. So, go over there and check that out if you need some plus size clothes.
That is exactly right. Okay, so the other thing I want to ask is, can you remember your first crush? And how old were you?
Oh, well, are we talking stars or are we
Well,
talking?
actually, like I'll get to that later. You just rest
Oh,
on
okay,
my
okay.
questions.
Um,
No, just like a regular question.
well, I think actually, you know what, to be perfectly honest, I think that my first crush was actually one of my um one of my teachers.
Okay, I can see that.
What One of my teachers,
What did they teach? And do you
and she was
remember?
just, and she was so nice though.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, her name was Miss Lehman. And she was so nice. She would always be like, "Oh, Rhonda," you know, back then in the day, it wasn't against the law almost to hug your students.
Right. It wasn't. That is true.
And she was just, and I went to private school, so it was,
Mhm.
always one on one if you needed it or whatever. She was always just so sweet. And I was like, "Oh, she's so nice." My daughter knows. My daughter ended up going to that same school and had her as a
Did
teacher.
she? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I just thought that she was so pretty and so nice. And I was like, "Oh, it's Miss Lehman."
That is so cute because I can see that. I get a mental picture of that. That's too sweet. But being that you kind of like went into it, we'll go ahead and with the next one. And who's your crush? We'll say movie star, what have you.
Oh, well, honey, everyone knows I love Beyonce.
Okay.
I
So
love, 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 love,
what's
love,
not
love,
to
love.
love about her, right?
I love the Queen Bee. I love Beyonce. I tell you, when I did that reel, and I was like, this is what happens when you put this hat on. Beyonce, she takes over.
Right.
But I love Beyonce. But I mean, I love a lot of actors. I love movies, so I tend to just find new actors all the time, the roles that they play, different things like that. So I mean, I have too many to even say,
Yeah,
but
the
what
list would be too long, right?
it would
But
be entirely.
Beyonce, she is. I love Beyonce myself. So I mean, what's not to love on her? I can go ahead and say that.
Yes, I love. Yeah, I mean, people think that I don't know, for whatever reason, everybody has different opinions or whatever. But the one thing I love about Beyonce is that she is from Houston, of course, and she is always giving back to that community.
She sure has.
She is always giving back. She never forgets where she came from.
She
She's
sure
always
doesn't.
doing things. She always gives back, and she doesn't always want that praise for it.
Hmm.
A
Which
lot
is
of people,
important.
yeah, a lot of people put it out there or whatever, but I love her just because I feel like she's still very well connected to Houston.
She is actually, and the other thing about her, to me, I think the reason why I find her so beautiful is because you can see her inner beauty. I love
Mm-hmm.
people that you can see their inner beauty. A lot of people don't know this about me, and I'll just mention this and then we'll move on. But I love Princess Diana as a kid, and the reason why I love Princess Diana is because you can see her true aura. You knew she was a sweet person. There's no question in my mind that she was a sweet person, and yeah, I used to love every like picture she see, and even now I see it. They're posting a lot of stuff on her now. I still look at it. Her and
I
Beyonce.
do
It's so funny.
too.
Instagram is sent on to because she likes Beyonce and she loves Princess Diana. I do.
Well,
I do.
I tell you that this is so true about Princess Diana because you know what?
Mhm.
She came into all of that. She kind
Mhm.
of knew what to expect, but not really.
Right,
you
right,
know but once you could tell once she started speaking, and then when she really, you could tell almost instantly when she evolved
right.
and she started having a mind of her own, wanting to say what she wanted to say and express her own feelings instead of the written words that they prepared for her.
Absolutely. And I'm
So
going to comment on something that Leslie from A Reseller's Passion, and make sure to check her out if y'all haven't already. Everybody should know her, but if y'all haven't, go and check her out. I mean, she got so much going on, serial entrepreneur. But a
yeah.
comment she just said is exactly how I feel. I was so devastated when she passed. I was
Oh,
angry.
what?
I mean, if I could have gotten those photographers, I would have. It really, I won't keep talking about that, but yeah, I agree. So anyway, let me go to my next question. So anyway, how old were you when you went on your first date?
Oh, honey, I can tell you that in a heartbeat. 16. I couldn't wear makeup. I couldn't do anything, date anything. Well, I got to wear makeup like around 15. A
Okay.
little bit, just a little gloss, a little mascara.
Mm-hmm.
But I could not go on a date until I was 16 years old.
Okay. All right.
They could come to
And
my house and visit, and that's it. I would talk on the phone all day long. You go to his house and visit, but leaving the house to go on a date, 16.
okay. So do you remember the name of the person that you went on the first date with?
Uh-huh.
Okay, never mind. You got to say it. I got that look, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay. All right, and okay, and now I'm gonna switch gears again now. So
Oh,
not too much though.
I'm
So
scared to
how old
say
were
that. I'm scared to say the name because he has stalker tendencies.
no, no, we ain't gonna say it. We're gonna cut that one off. So how old were you when you had your first kiss?
Probably 16.
Oh, okay. So right on the same time. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, we're gonna move right on then. 16 was you were really sweet at 16.
And then 16 hit.
Until 16. Well, no, you were sweet at 16. I'm sure some people say that. But but
I should be
anyway,
listening.
so you went to private school. That sounds really good. So when you graduated from private school, what did you do at that point?
Well, actually, I went to private school up until the eighth grade.
Oh,
And
okay.
then I ended up going to public school from the eighth grade till I graduated.
Okay.
So trust me, it was a different experience for me.
Yeah, so
But
before we answer the other question, then tell me about that. Tell me about what you thought when you left the private school world to the public.
well, let me just give you the cliff notes real quick.
Okay.
Because I went to private school back then, of course,
Mhm.
not now,
Right.
guys. Back
Mhm.
then, at one point I was the only black girl at my private school.
Yeah, I can believe
And
that.
then a couple of other people came in.
Hmm.
So once, as time went on or whatever, so I was friends, all my friends were Caucasian.
Hmm.
So when I went to public school, I was like, wow, there's just so many other people there. And
So,
I had, of course, at church, I have my church friends. I always say I had my church friends who were black,
right.
have my white friends who were at school,
Right.
and then I had a birthday party where they all came together, and it worked out. Our parents were nervous, but it worked
Oh,
out great. Everybody ended up mingling and talking and laughing and all that.
oh, well, that's good.
But by the time I got to public school, my mom asked me, she was like, how was your first day? And I was like, there's a lot of black people there. And she was like horrified. Like, what would that be the thing that you would say? Well, because I was with, all my white friends all the time for years, from the second grade to. So of course I felt kind of like I felt out of place.
I can see that. That's so cute, though. I can see that.
But
Oh my gosh.
it didn't take it took me a good year to kind of get in because I didn't know all the slang.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I didn't know this, and then I dressed a certain way. So then people were looking at me like, "Oh, well, she thinks she's this and that because look at this." I had one. I'll never forget. I was so excited to wear my rabbit jacket to school, and
Uh-oh.
and oh my God, it was like, why? Oh, why did I do that? Never did that again. So it was so crazy. So over the summer, some really good friends of mine, they said, "Look, by the time you go back to school, you're going to be straight." So over the summer, they gave me a crash course in hoodness, slang 101.
You know
So
why I'm laughing, Rhonda? Because we were so similar in so many ways. Like, I mean, when I say we're so similar in so many ways, because I was adopted too. But
yes,
the reason I'm laughing is because my first year in high school was probably the worst. And then I went to New York because I had some really cool cousins in New York. It's like, and it was see when I said, girl, I know you need to go to school just like that. They got me straight.
girl,
They got
yes,
me
I,
straight
I have to thank
for my
her.
sophomore year.
Her name is Jessica Jeffrey. We talked last night, as a matter of fact. So
Right.
funny, but she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you right on together, girl, because we can't have that." And by the time I went back, I was a different person, and people were looking like, "Is that
You
Rhonda?"
were running things, weren't you?
I was back at it. I was on top of things. Me.
Oh my God. I love it. So now we're gonna skip a little, we're gonna go back to the question, but that was fun. I love it. I love it. So what did you do right when you graduated? After you graduated, what did you do?
What did I do right after I graduated? Um, not, I felt like, well, I got a job.
Okay.
I actually got a job and I started junior college.
Okay.
And I was working as well. My dad was like having a conniption because I was working and he didn't want me to work. You just need to focus on school. You just need to focus on school. You don't need to
Oh.
work. You know, oh my God. I think I got my license. Because my dad tried to teach me how to drive. My mom had already told him that wasn't going to go well. And it didn't because he
Wait,
yelled at me. The
she
minute
said it
he
wasn't gonna
yelled
go
at
well.
me, I was like, oh, I'm parking this car and I walk home. I mean, what?
But you did finally get your license, though.
Oh yeah, because the following week, my mom signed me up for driver's ed, and she
Oh
was
my
like, "I
gosh.
told you that wasn't going to work with her. I told you it wasn't going to work." So yeah, I got my license. I started junior college, and I got a job at Kmart. And my dad was
Oh,
like,
really?
"Yeah." Well, my
You
first
must
job
have
was
been
actually
busy.
the very first. No, I'm take that back. I started at the Jim Dandy Chicken Shack. And
Okay.
then I went to Kmart. So yeah, my dad was just like, no, this working business is no, you need to focus on school. And then I got to the point where I didn't want to go. I was like, this is just not for me. I was not ready to go to college because I was going to go away. I
Mm-hmm.
changed my mind because I didn't want to leave home. And I went to junior college, didn't like it either.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up going to work for Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just speed it up a little bit. Shortly after that, when I was 21, that's when I had my daughter.
Gotcha. Yeah, and then we know eventually you were an entrepreneur because you were a nail technician, and that is an entrepreneur. I don't know if a lot of people understand that, but you
Oh, it
actually get
definitely
paid
is.
for what you do,
It
and that's how you
it
survive.
definitely is. I did. I went to actually I worked in the nightclubs as
Mm-hmm.
a bartender slash host
Oh,
and or
I can see you
MC
doing that too. I
or
can see you doing that.
I was an MC. And after I finished that for about 8 years, I did go to nail school and I did nails from that point on.
I could see you in a bar now. I mean, at first I couldn't, but as soon as you said, I said yes, I could, because she got a personality too, and I know you got people straight when they try to, be funny and stuff. I know you got them straight. I know you did. I have no doubts about that. All right,
I
so
know it was a crazy time.
look, I'm still on my list here. Let me go here. Which
Okay,
one we
I
gonna
got
do
you. I'm
now?
gonna wait for the list.
Yes, I got my little list
I know
going.
everyone is patiently waiting. Like, is she gonna tell some dirt? I don't know because I don't know what Terry has down there.
All right, this is a simple one. People do this all the time. So, and we'll let you do it. So, give me two truths and a lie, and we'll see if we can figure out the lie.
Oh, I love her. Two truths and a lie. That's difficult for me because I feel like I've already said. Um, um,
I probably should have asked that as the first question, right? Right. So that would have helped you out.
yeah, I can't even think. Let's come back to that.
We'll come back to that. That's
I'll have
okay.
to mull that over.
All right. So, if the internet power went out in your home, and let's say it was out, they said, oh, it's gonna be out for a couple of days, what would you do?
But since my phone stays charged.
No, I'm talking about internet as in, okay,
Oh,
good
oh, the
point, by the way.
internet. Oh,
We talking
like my
total
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Even the cell phone's not working.
Terry, I just don't know. I just don't know what
That's
I
an
would
answer.
do.
I got it.
I would pick up my landline and start calling people.
There you go. And I did do that once.
I
That's
pick
what
up my
I
landline and be like,
did.
it's me, pick up the phone.
And they're like, "You're calling me?" Like, yes. How are you
Or
doing?
I turn on my hotspot, try to catch something. Or something. I'd have to be all outside
So
like
you be
this.
walking all outside. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. So, give me a favorite game that you like to play.
A favorite.
A favorite game that you like
Oh,
to
I
play.
thought you said gang. I was like,
Oh, yeah, you're like, nah, you don't live that life. I got you.
a game. I really love. Oh well, I do love to play solitaire. I love to play words with friends. If I'm playing with others, I love Scrabble. And there was another game. I love Uno.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, that's a
card,
good
kind
one.
of card games, spades.
Oh yeah, spades.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming to see you now. Now, yeah.
Okay.
So let's go this over. Just get me a partner. Well, you can be
Because
my
you know
partner
when you
if you
play
want to
spades, you
play.
got to be talking that noise. You got to slap that card
Oh,
down.
I get some straight. Terry and spades and Terry you see online, two separate people. I'm TL when I play spades, actually. That's what they call me when I play spades, TL.
Oh my God, we would have a blast playing spades.
I know, right? All right. So when how did you meet? Well, I know you're not married now, but you were married. So when did you first meet the gentleman that you were married to previously?
Well, that person, um, mm, wow, 2000 and I want to say five.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's about right. You know, let's count back 18 years. So,
No, Leslie, you still cool. You
Leslie, you
really
still
are.
got
You
your
have
black
not
card.
lost it at all.
You still have your
That's just
black
one
card.
of the
I've
things
lost
you
my
just
black
don't do.
card
It's okay.
on several occasions.
Yeah, yeah, my husband doesn't have it either then, Leslie, if that's the case. And I can honestly say he has his still, but you good. But yeah, so do you remember where you met?
Yes, we actually met at Jason's Deli.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
actually, it was due to the fact I called in an order because our receptionist at the spa asked, she had to run an errand for the owner. So she asked me, would I do that? And I said, sure. So I called in the order, and that's kind of how the whole conversation, started.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Because, I needed to know, are you delivering or what? They said they don't deliver. I was like, oh, okay. So we just, kind of exchanged numbers and it went from there.
So that was your little slide flirt way. Do y'all deliver or what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hmm. So y'all get some
No,
tips right here.
specifically, are
Little
you
slide little
delivering?
flirting tips.
It was specific. Are you delivering?
That's right, like you
Yeah,
with an emphasis
you.
on the you, as
Yeah.
in you. So where did y'all go? What do you remember where you had your first date?
You know what? I don't even realize if we used to talk about this, and it was kind of like, I don't know, did we really even have a first date? Because it was like we talked all weekend or whatever. Then
Mm-hmm.
we I actually went over for dinner. We were
Mm-hmm.
supposed to go out, but all of our friends just, decided that they wanted to drink sooner than we were supposed to go out. So everybody else around us was like, wasted.
I
So
understand.
I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go home. And I actually went over for dinner or whatever, and so that's
Mm-hmm.
how that whole started. So I mean, and then after that, it was just like we were together all the time.
Gotcha. Y'all became like really good friends, hanging
Uh-huh.
together. That makes sense. It happens
Yeah.
like that. Totally.
I think we had a first date later on. I think that a year after we actually had known each other, around our anniversary, we actually went to Papa Do's.
Oh, okay.
So we considered that our first date.
That's amazing. It's like the little things, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so crazy.
Okay. So, and you gonna get change a little gears now. Like we said, we know that y'all are no longer together. What were some of the red flags for you at the time that you kind of knew that this was probably not going to be, you
I
know?
don't, I don't know. I'll say this is that, when you get into a relationship, it's just like, woo,
Hmm. Right.
you're doing all these things. You're going here, you're going to eat, you're doing this, you're doing that. You just, you just get it was just a whirlwind romance, if you want to put it that way. It just happened like this and that, and it just went from there. So, of course, at the time, sometimes you don't see all the the the, the little red flags,
Right, right.
you know. And even if you do, you know, you're like, oh, I'm happy. It'll pass. It'll be all right. You
Right.
know, you're all in that kind of mode.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that, of course, I was guilty of that. And because for me, I believe that, you know, every I understand certain things about people and certain things that, you know, everyone wasn't raised like me. So
Right,
I
right,
can't expect them to know everything I know or do everything I do or have experienced everything that I've experienced.
right,
But, you know, at some point, you know, I feel like you just kind of, you know, can catch up.
right.
But I just think that after a while, I found out that they were just a bit too dependent on one of their siblings,
Oh, okay.
you know, and
And
it
that
was
and that
that,
happens sometimes, yeah.
yeah, you know, it's that running. If we're mad, you know, let's run and tell this, that, which, you know, in turn, when you get back around the family's looking at you sideways.
Exactly. And that makes it really complicated too, because you know you think about holiday events and stuff like that. And it's just hard to build a close bond because y'all are supposed to all be family now.
Right, right. And
Hmm.
so it was just, I think it was just a lot of things that start kind of stacking up. I mean, we did, you know, part ways a couple of times. And, you know, then we went to counseling, you know, a couple of times. And the last time I was like, well, look, I'm just not going to waste my time. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just not going to waste my time because the one thing that I have learned even while I was still in that situation is you cannot expect change if the same thing is happening.
You
If you're
certainly
doing
can.
the
That's
same thing
insanity.
over and over and over, there you cannot expect a change.
Mm-mm.
Something has to change.
That's
And
right.
if the other person is not changing, then you have to make a change.
And now that you brought that up, because you, from my understanding, how long were you together again? How many years were y'all together?
18.
You're right. We know a lot of people will stay in relationships because they don't want to make that change. So, what gave you the courage to change? Because there is courage in that, by the way. What gave you
Oh,
that courage?
I have to, I wholeheartedly will tell you that I stayed too long. I have said that before. I stayed too long
Mm-hmm.
because I think that you can stay too long because you're comfortable with this person. You know, while you have fun, you have good times and you laughing, but then when something happens, then you're like, ugh. But then when those things start taking over, when the bad starts to outweigh the good,
Mm-hmm.
then you know there's got to be a change, you know. And so I was already in a place, of course, you know, y'all know I used to weigh 464 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and you know I was in a place where I was stuck.
Mm-hmm.
I was stuck because I couldn't do for myself a lot of times. I couldn't get up and run to the store. I couldn't get up and go, you know, my knees, my body hurt, all that.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, I'm always going to be grateful because they were my legs, you know, to get things done, all this type of thing. I appreciate all of that. I will forever appreciate, you
Right.
know, the help that I received.
Right.
But when I had weight loss surgery, before I had weight loss surgery, I think
Mm-hmm.
that this is what really did it for me.
Okay.
Before I had weight loss surgery, you know, it was this whole big conversation. Oh, you're not gonna have to do this. You're not gonna have to do that. I got this. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna do this. Da, 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 da. You
All
know,
that stuff. Right.
yeah. None of that happened.
So that kind of goes with my post today. Your talk is good about what you're gonna say that you do, but you only respect the actions, which he gave you no actions
You know.
apparently of
So
what he
yeah,
said
you
he was
know,
gonna do.
because I found myself a couple of days later, sitting in the kitchen trying to make a meal. And I
Mm-mm-mm.
was just like, see, this is where I draw the line. Because now I feel like no, first of all, no one asked you for that whole, you know, I'm gonna do speech that you gave. So
Right.
now I'm here. Now you know, now my daughter was, you know, there and my
Mm-hmm.
granddaughter. they
Right.
would, ask, but my daughter was looking for a place to live. So, she was kind of
Right.
in and out, looking for an apartment. My granddaughter, of course, had school. So,
Right.
I mean, come on now.
Mm.
But you know what? I came through that and I had to just make a decision. And I chose myself.
You chose you, and that is so important. And that's one thing that, for whoever is, paying attention to this live today, definitely choose yourself, because you matter.
Always choose
You
yourself.
you matter.
You matter. And I tell you that the thing I can say is that don't feel bad because you feel like you're staying too because of leaving. Because
Right.
sometimes staying can be more toxic than leaving.
Got that right. And it's not good for you. You're not choosing
Mm,
yourself. So
You have to choose yourself. And I had to choose myself. I had to know that there was something that I could do to change the direction of my life.
okay. And so now
Because
this, oh, I'm
having
sorry.
surgery, I got back my quality of life. So why am
Mhm.
I going to waste my quality of life being somewhere toxic?
Absolutely. Now here's my next question. So how old were you when you made that decision?
Let me see. How old was I? I was in 50. Was I 58?
Okay. I'm gonna bring that up, guys. You're never too old or young to make those decisions, but especially too old. And I bring that up because I've seen people stay in situations because they do feel like they're too old. They feel like it's too late.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
that's
That's so
phenomenal.
true.
Say you can begin again.
You can start all today if that was
Mhm.
what's needed.
Right.
Now, I tell you that I was blessed because, my bestie asked me to come. She was like, look, you can come stay here. So
Right.
I lived with her and her family for a year and a
Hmm.
couple of months because
Right.
I actually gave myself a year
Right.
and to move. I moved in August 1st of last year.
Hmm.
I moved out, like I say, a few months late, but
Right.
I got in my new place last month, the 1st of November.
But you had to deal with the pandemic and all that craziness
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So yeah.
So that was difficult finding a place in the first place.
Right. Exactly.
With everything going on, you couldn't move around, you couldn't go actually look at things. You had to do virtual. It was just a big,
Hmm.
it was. But the point is that I never stopped feeling like I needed to move. I needed to do things. I needed to do things, and this just brings me right here to where we are today. Is because due to her telling me about Poshmark, being able to be on Poshmark making sales allowed me to pay off a lot of debt,
That's awesome.
a lot of debt
Hmm.
that improves my credit tremendously.
Hmm.
And so I'll forever be thankful for that because Poshmark was the way that I did that. I was
See,
able to pay off
phenomenal.
debt after debt after debt, and at that point, I wasn't worried about saving a lot of money. I wanted to pay off this debt because I wanted to improve my credit because at one point, I felt like I might want to own a home. But then I thought, child, I'm too
Absolutely.
old to be owning a home. Let me just get a little townhome. And then I thought, well, I don't know if I want to do that either because my thing was whatever I got, my granddaughter could stay there or whatever. As my plan was to travel this year.
Right.
And
Definitely.
Rona said no. Rona said no. Sit down somewhere.
We could spend an hour live talking about Rona. We didn't even go there with her. Let's just say that if
That
you
is
if you
so
name your
true. We
child
can.
Corona, you really don't like that child. That
Oh
is a
no.
hated
I'm ready
name.
for her to go on. But I just think that people have to know that you can start. It doesn't matter what your age is because let me just tell you, sometimes when I'm looking at just say Vogue or whatever, I see
Hmm.
the most beautiful older models.
Yes.
That we have amazing actors and actresses that are older. We have people, just your day to day people who are out here doing amazing things,
Hmm.
amazing things, and I think that don't sell yourself short because it's in you to do. You just got to draw that out. You just got to draw it out. And it helps when you have a good support system.
Oh, I totally agree. we need to know we're all there for each other. I believe in the support system. And I love what you're saying, because I do think people think the older they get, the more they can't make changes. I remember when I was in corporate America and I had a couple of friends, we were all about the same age, and we were at a company and we were making good money, but we all hated it. We hated what we were doing. And everybody was like, well, I'm gonna leave. And I was like, but I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I don't know what this. And I said, well, I am leaving. I'm putting things in place. I said, I'm getting out of here.
Right.
I said,
Right.
with the money, without the money, I'm going. And I think a lot of times people don't believe that when you say that. They don't believe it. They think, because they think you're going to be that person that just keeps staying in there, keep hating it, keep going until like the official, I guess, retirement age. No.
No. Well,
but I had to go.
and in life, my thing is now, my daughter's on here now. She can tell you. I have always been one to go, 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 get them, go, go, get them. But I tell you that it does not, I think I lost that along the way for a while. But once I felt that come back and that entered my soul once again, I was here for it. Because I think that you have to, like I say, you have to choose you. You have to believe in you in order for the next person to believe in you.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Rhonda. That's powerful. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when I was younger, I would say from like 18 to we'll say 18 to, we'll even say to 30. I was always that go, go, go person. I was always looking at entrepreneurship opportunities. When I got this corporate job, and like I said, it was a good job. It was good paying money. But a lot of my friends were like, oh, you're in corporate America. Seriously, they actually told me that. They were like shocked I was there. They're like, I'm really surprised, Terry. I'm really surprised, because you're always doing this, that, and the other. And then, so I said all of that to say this. Things that you were really into when you were young, that drive, it's still there. It's like Rhonda says, sometimes you cover it up. And you cover it up so long that you're like, I don't know if I can take the layers off anymore, but you can get it back. It never really went anywhere. It's just you covered it up.
And I think that the other thing too is that when you're in a relationship with someone, I'm definitely admitting that when they may not have what you are used to, or they're just, I hate to say on your same level, but I'm just going to say it, on your same level. Right. With some things, then you feel like sometimes you don't want to make them feel less than, so you kind of downplay yourself. Well, that's a mistake, so you shouldn't do that. Right. First of all, I had to come out of that real fast and say, well, I'm not going to apologize for how I was raised, because this is who I am, and this is it. What you see is what you get. Right. But I just think that, sometimes we kind of feel like, well, I don't want to make the next person feel bad, or I don't want to downplay myself, and, I don't want to do all this shining. Honey, shine. Shine all day, shine all night, shine bright like a diamond or a street light. It doesn't matter as long as you shine it.
Okay, I like that, and I expect to see that in the post really soon, because that was really beautiful what you just did. I'm being really serious. You might want to write that down or redo the recording, because that was beautiful. I want to see it in the post. Yeah, I think that's so important, because if the person really loves you, they actually want to see you shine. They'll even put things in place to help you shine greater. So that's really key.
And that is, and don't ever feel like you cannot do you. You can always do you. Right. And you always should be doing you. So when someone says, oh, do you, boo? Oh, I've been doing me, boo. You do you, boo. Because, because we all should be being ourselves and doing ourselves. We all should be doing that. And the thing about it is, do not be afraid to start over. I don't care if you're starting a new venture. Do it. Why not? What's wrong with that? You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You are worthy of whatever it is you want. Come for what you know you can have.
You got that right. And you said it right. And the person that said everything that comes out of Rhonda's mouth is pure gold. You are right. I couldn't see the person who said that, but whoever you are,
thank you.
You are correct on that one for sure. That's why I love her so much. So the other other question I'm gonna ask you is, so I know you decided to go back to school. So not
Mhm.
only did you get out of a relationship at 58, which we know a lot of people would not have done, especially if they have been in there long enough, they wouldn't have done it. You said, I'm gonna start over. And now you've gone back to school because initially when you're going to school, it wasn't for you, but now you like come, full circle and you're like, hey, I'm going back to
Yeah.
school. So tell
And
us
I
more about
started at
that.
the bottom. I started at the bottom when I could have bypassed getting my associates and went straight to my bachelor's. I did not ease my way into it. I started with my associates. I got my bachelor's, and now I'm working on my master's. Now,
Oh my goodness.
I will have to say today that I'm going to admit that this master's course is ugh, it's a
But you got it. But
it's
you
a
got
heavy
it.
workload. So I'm actually in the point of making a decision about if I'm going to take a break because I feel as though that the workload is so heavy right now that it's affected my my sales, my Posh Closet. And so I'm kind of trying to make a decision on that and put it off for a little while. I don't know. I have until after spring break, winter break to decide. But my thing about that is um, when you know that I know what I can do in school. And so I
Right.
know it's not that I can't do the work. It's just that
Right.
I feel like I have, not been putting my focus on there. While my sales are consistent, they are not what they used to be when I
Right.
was
Right.
just focusing on that solely and working my other projects in between. But now I just have to get back to the business at hand. So,
Right.
I might have to take a little break and things, but you know what? That doesn't mean that if you want to go to school, go to school. If you want to learn a language, learn a language. If you want to get certified, get certified. Whatever it is, I'm all for continuing education.
Yeah, and you started, so basically you started school like a couple of years back, right? Going
Well,
back to school.
I finished my bachelor's in June, but I had started it before I had weight loss surgery. And I took a break afterwards because
Got it.
I was supposed to go back, but just wasn't feeling up to it yet. So I just kind of waited until after that whole situation of me moving, close one door before you open another.
Right, exactly. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm very impressed with you. So for me, because I love you, I'm gonna pray for things to come into place so you can go ahead and get that master's because that's huge. And how impressive is that? I
Mhm.
mean, so
And
I'm
it
I'm
will
gonna pray
come.
for
It will
things to
come.
open up to make it happen for you. Okay.
Thank you
Um,
so much. I
whew,
appreciate that. It will come. I
I'm
might just have
telling
to
you.
push the pause button for a minute till I kind of get things kind of back on track because, I got a couple of projects in the works and then,
Oh yes,
other
you
things.
do. You do.
So I just really that's really where my focus is and I'm wanting to accomplish those things because, I think sometimes we as women tend to just put so much on that one plate that we need sideboards to hold everything on,
Hmm.
but at some point in time, we have to listen to ourselves too.
That inner voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. I totally agree with you there. Well, I again still very impressive. So this, if y'all haven't learned anything today, this means that everything is possible. I'm
Yes, it
serious,
is.
and this is an important conversation to have because so many people will talk themselves out of doing things. It's
Hmm.
not too late
It's
to
not too
do
late. It's
it.
never, it really and truly, it's never too late
It
because I'm
never
going to tell you
is.
how things come back around just like fashion. Just like
Right.
fashion, things come back around to you. You have opportunities that present themselves to you. Now, that first time around, you might not be paying attention.
Right.
That third time around, you might not pay attention. But then that next time, that's it. You
Yeah.
gotta, it's time
That
for you to
that
pay
that tells you
attention.
got to get it done. That's
Yeah,
right.
because if that same opportunity keeps presenting itself to you, that's your opportunity. It was meant for you. That's your door for you to open.
And I believe that because that's the purpose. And then they talk about you finding your purpose. That's finding your purpose right
Hmm.
there. I
Yeah,
totally agree with that, Rhonda. Uh,
yeah.
I tell you, boy. Whew, I know I've asked this a question. Anybody got one they want to know?
Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate it. And cheers to you are working on a degree as well because Leanne is in college. She's part of the Poshmark College thing.
Uh-huh.
And she is working on her degree as well, her bachelor's degree.
Oh my Yes.
So, Sweet Leanne can. Yes, you can,
Oh, I
girl.
like that. Sweet
I know it. Isn't it
can.
great?
I love that. That's the
Isn't it
best.
great? Well, you know what? I tell you, I have always kind of felt like at one point in my life, I was kind of like, "Ooh, that ain't your business. Get out my business." But you get to a point where you're like gone through some things, and you're like, you know, tell your story.
That. There you
Tell
go.
your story. Tell your story in whatever way that you want. Even when I had weight loss surgery, I didn't, only the closest people around me knew. It wasn't until later on that I said something because you know why? I wanted to tell it the way I wanted to tell it.
And that's how it should be. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you're right. Share it because your story can help someone else out. It really can. And because
Yeah.
sometimes the message that you send out, a person needs to hear it that day. And they could have heard it before. They could have heard it from James, John, Lisa, or whatever, but
Ronnie,
it
Bobby,
comes out of
Ricky,
your
and Mike.
mouth and it may have a significance, you know?
It just, I tell you that you just never know. And the way that I say this is that I was, Leslie was so great to ask me to speak at her event this past
Mhm.
weekend.
Uh-huh.
Well, out of that event, of course, I ended up with people who joined the journey, as I like to say, because, I'm like Leslie, I don't like followers. Join the journey, you
Right.
know. So I think that one lady DM'd me the other day, and she said, "You were in my head when I was photographing this plus size jumpsuit." And she sent me the picture of it and everything, and it ended up making a sale.
Oh.
And I thought, you know what? That was like the sweetest thing ever. I also met someone who is about to have weight loss surgery. She and I connected. She's actually I'm setting up a YouTube so we can go on YouTube and talk about it.
See, that's awesome.
And, just so many other, a couple other stories in there about weight loss. Someone else asked me about plus size clothing. And, I mean, this is just how sharing your story or someone hearing you speak about something, you just never know.
You really don't. And that's why it's definitely important to share your story, tell it, because it's all about helping people. It's all about helping others. And I always say that we're in this universe together. We're a team. So together, everyone achieves more.
Yeah.
Really, I
Now,
really truly believe that.
I don't want y'all to leave here twisted today. I wasn't always at this point in my life. Yeah. I wasn't always, as low key as I am now, because let me tell you, back in the day, honey, you'd have had to catch me. But, I tell you, I say all that to say this is that as you progress in your life, as you get older, and, some things matter, some things just don't. You just get to a point where it's not worth the time, it's not worth the drama, and it's not worth your peace. Because at this point in
Exactly.
my life, I'm all about my peace.
Me
And,
too.
I just want to be the best person that I can be. Because we're all masterpieces and works in progress at the same time.
We sure are. Definitely.
And we can all be that.
Mm-hmm.
We all can be that. We all are that. Don't be afraid to share your story because we all have one. Whether it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, that's your story. So you don't know if you're helping someone else who's going through the good, the bad, and the ugly. Or the
Exactly.
ugly, the ugliest, and the
And
ugliest
the
stuff.
ugly is.
Yeah. So never feel like you don't have anything to contribute. We all have something to contribute. You just have to find out where that is.
And absolutely right. And then also too, definitely, I'm gonna go back to what you're saying. Don't be afraid to share because I think sometimes people feel like they're into the following thing, or if someone likes something, so they're like, well, I'm not gonna say this because nobody really cares to hear from me. So then they don't even bother being on social media. But it just takes one person for you to help out one person. And by you helping out that one person, they're going to go and help out another person. And it just goes on and on. So that's why that saying for me, I always tell people that really you can change the world, but not in a way that you think. It's like
Right,
you can
right.
change the world by changing yourself, and then by spreading that to someone else, and then they're going to benefit from that change, and whatever you've done to touch them, they're going to pass it on, and it just goes down and goes down
And
and just
and this
keeps
think of
going.
this.
Hmm.
Pour life into whoever you come in contact with. I
Absolutely.
mean, lift those people up, have positive words, whatever it is, have those for yourself definitely first,
Oh yeah.
so that you can share that positivity with the next person.
Right.
Because the where we are right now with all this, pandemic, I mean, we're at home, we're just like living in t-shirts and leggings for months. I'm talking about myself.
Seriously.
You
No,
know,
me too.
I'm talking
Me
about
too.
myself, because I tell you, I
Hmm.
mean, you have to, you know, past that feeling that you have inside of you, that you're just this spark, you're just this light of hope. You can be that for yourself, but share that.
Exactly.
So many people need that right now.
They do.
So share your story, share your positivity, uplift someone. I mean, there is nothing wrong. That don't cost you a dime, honey. That cost you a penny, a dime, a dollar to
I
lift
tell people all
up
the
the
time,
next person.
kindness matters, and it's the best thing you can give people. It's free, and you should not be, you should just give it, just sprinkle it out like it's
Ooh,
confetti. Make it rain with kindness. They
yes,
always use the
honey.
expression "make it rain with money." Make it rain with kindness.
Yes. Oh,
Definitely.
Nikki, that's a message right there. Once you change your
Mm-hmm.
life, then you change your family's life, then you change the communities, and then you change the world.
And who
Hallelujah.
said that? Who said that? Because that is true.
Nikki,
Yes,
glow, girl,
Nikki.
glow.
Yes,
Yes,
glow
Nikki.
girl, glow. And if
Yes.
y'all don't know, y'all need to check her out. Y'all need to follow her. She's got some really great things going on. She is glowing up, so definitely check
Yes, she
her
is
out.
glowing up. Yes, she
That's
is
right.
glowing up.
Hmm.
Yes, and Leslie, Leslie, a reseller's passion is awesome sauce with speaking life into others. I mean, she speaks life into us all.
She does. She does. She really
And I
does.
know, Wendy, never give up your peace. So true, so true.
And
Leslie.
wonderful Wendy. I can't say enough about her, but
Oh,
you
I
know her
know.
name, wonderful Wendy.
Leslie says, in an instant, Rhonda appeared in my life. Voila! And I'm so thankful we know each other. I am so thankful that we know each other. I am so glad to be a part of your community. Thank you. Oh, yeah, Leanne. Cheers to working towards a agree right reselling. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Wendy. You are phenomenal as well. I appreciate you so much. As Leslie always says, start over. If not now, when? If not you, then who?
That's right. That is exactly right. It's so
Oh,
true. It's so
and I
true.
think that there's just no there's just I feel like myself, I'm gonna speak for myself. I
Okay.
just feel like at this point in time in my life that I require certain things from certain people, which is why I always say, well, I'm single, because I am, because I have like this amount of time to devote to anyone.
Okay.
But I everything that I require, I can, give back.
Hmm.
And I just have to have that certain person to come into my life. But I'm not sitting around waiting on that, honey, because there's clothes to sell, books to write, movies to make, reels to make, TikToks to make. I mean, there's just too much going on, for you to sit around and just wait on someone to either act right, as they say, get some act right, or just let your life go pass you by without trying something new. And I think you should just step out on faith, because you know what? Faith without work is dead. And you've got to go ahead and step out on that faith, do the things, as Leslie says, you think you cannot do. But for me, it's like get up, get out, get it. See it,
Exactly.
own it, buy it, want it. You know,
That's
I
right.
don't,
That's right. I totally agree. Just do it. Don't worry about if it's perfect or not. Just do it. Forward is forward. Keep it moving. All of those things. I totally
you
agree. And you'll
definitely
feel so
can't.
much better by doing that.
And you
Because
definitely cannot sit around and wait for it to be perfect.
mm-mm,
Because sometimes, we overthink things. And I was guilty of that actually before I met you all, is that I would overthink things sometimes. And I'd be like, well, it's just not that. I just got to tweak this one more time. I just got to tweak it to this. And you know what? You think long, you think wrong. You just have to put it out there. And sometimes I fail. Yes, I failed. My first YouTube was sucked. It was a huge failure. But you know what? I had to just kind of, get over it. I, moaned about it and did all that, but that wasn't going to get me anywhere. So eventually, I just went live and here we are today.
But you know what? I bet you that YouTube really only sucked to you.
No, it actually.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's true because
it actually.
I'm being serious because I always over whatever what's going on with me, and I'm like, oh, it'll come at me like, oh, that was really good, on different things, and I'd be like, what, really? That was like really crazy right then.
Yeah, I think it sucked because I think I had my time wrong. I think my YouTube said 9. I was on Zoom at 7. It was supposed to stream. It was supposed to do it. Oh, girl, it was a hot mess. But you know what? That's learning.
Yeah, that's right. That is learning.
And you're right, Wendy. The comeback is always better than the setback.
Oh, I love that. And then the important thing too to remember, everyone, is make sure that you are happy now. I stress that because sometimes people be like, well, I'll be happy when this happens. I'll be happy when that happens. And then it comes to that point and you're still not happy. So you got to be happy in the now, because the present's all you got is now.
Yes.
So just make sure that you're productive in your present, like you're productive daily, present daily, consistent daily, but be happy now.
Yeah, be happy.
You'll really appreciate it.
Be happy with you first.
Exactly.
Be happy with you, because if you're not happy with you, you're not going to be happy with anything.
You won't.
You will not be happy when anything, and you're going to always ask, well, why isn't this working? Well, why isn't this working? Because you're not happy. Because you're not in that state of mind to focus your mind on what it is you need to accomplish. Because you're not happy, because you're worried about why you're not happy. You're worried about, why am I in this situation? I'm not happy. I'm not happy because, of someone else. Well, you know what? It's up to us to create our own happiness.
It is a state of mind, and you do need to have it, because if you don't and you get to that certain spot that you thought you were going to be happy, you're going to feel empty. And this is how certain people end up, I hate to say it, suicide or other things, because they weren't happy. They weren't happy, and they feel like they'll never be happy because the thing they thought was going to make them happy, it didn't do it for them.
Right.
And so it's really important.
And I'm going to say this, that Leslie brought up a good point. Happy is a state of mind, yes. But she said, I'd rather be content. And let me just tell you, there are no truer words, because I am very content right now. I am in a place now, that's not to say that I don't miss having those types of conversations or, intimacy or whatever. But let me just tell you, I am at peace with myself. I have peace around me. Right. And I am actually happy, content at what I'm doing right now. Right. Because I feel like at this point in time, I'm doing things that I want to do that make me happy.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And being content is definitely important, because sometimes I think of being content and being thankful too. I kind of correlate it. It's not necessarily the same thing, but I correlate it at times, because sometimes people aren't thankful for what they have right now, and then that can bring depression and what have you. But definitely be content in what you got going on now, because like I said, now is all that you have. It's all that you have. It's the now.
That's so true.
The past is the past, and the present
you gotta let that go. You gotta let that go, because it's the past for a reason.
You got that right.
It's the past for a reason.
Sometimes I hate that.
Sometimes it's not always wise to revisit the past. You gotta, you gotta say, hey, okay, move on, keep it moving, and move past it, because the past is what can really hold you back from your present and your future.
I totally agree.
Oh, well, thank you, Leslie. That's beautiful, Rhonda. Happiness is just moments. No one is happy all the time. Being content goes along with being thankful and appreciative, and it does. And I
Yeah,
am thankful for everyone who showed up today. As
absolutely.
I am grateful. I am grateful for all the support that you guys give me each and every day. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Terry.
I appreciate
Now I
it.
don't know if we got through that whole spreadsheet, but we covered quite a bit.
Cover a lot of
I
stuff.
think we covered quite a bit and things. And I just, the reason, I mean, I just don't even know. It's just something that was in me, and I felt like, I just wanted to do a little sharing today, and
Love you,
kind of,
Leslie.
yes, thank you so much, and
Mhm.
I appreciate you for making that happen with me.
Hey, well, we appreciate you. As you know, we love you. You're definitely a blessing to many people. So,
Oh, well,
and I appreciate you answering my
that's always
questions.
sweet to
Okay.
hear.
And she wants to see that shirt some more. So let's well, I have to get off so they can see it. But okay, there you go. Oh, love it, love it, love it.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. I'm going to take a couple of pictures in it here shortly and stuff. I so appreciate my shirt, Leslie. I so appreciate it. I was just so thought of. And I meant to put my other piece of jewelry on, but I grabbed these instead. But
Uh-huh.
thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I am going to have this on YouTube. I'm a little behind and posting on my YouTube channel, which is Brunch with Diva. And next week I'll be back to scheduled programming
There
and
you
have
go.
an
Yeah.
awesome guy on for who lives in Germany and resells there.
Oh, wow. Well,
So
that's very interesting.
I
Yeah.
know it. I know it. I can't wait. I
I'm
can't
looking
wait to
forward
talk.
to that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait to talk to him. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you. Oh, hey, Shanrilla. Oh, I hate you missed it. But Shanrilla is actually the one I was telling you about. We're going to go on YouTube and we're going to be discussing weight loss because she's going to have weight loss surgery soon.
Oh, that's so awesome. Okay.
So,
I'm looking forward to
yes.
that.
So, and she does she hand makes things as well.
I thought I knew. I thought I recognized her.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, she
that's
does a
her.
lot of great
Hey,
lives. She sure
girl,
does. Hey.
hi. She doesn't know it yet, but she's my new best friend in my head. But
I love it. I
but
love it.
thank you guys. We're gonna end it right here. I love you all. And Terry, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Y'all take care. Bye
All
bye.
right, bye-bye, guys.